Hello and welcome if you're new to my channel, and if you're a subscriber, a warm welcome back. In this video, I'm going to be suggesting Christmas gift ideas. It'll be part of an ongoing series, maybe 6 or 7 parts to it, but it'll be based on live client requests that I'm currently working through. Each video will be split according to age and gender, and I'll kick off this week with 3 ladies, a 25-year-old, a 45 and a 60-year-old lady. The core presence will be the same, and what I've done is I have factored in brands in the mid-tier going right up to the top end of the market, and that's to cater hopefully for all budgets and tastes. And as you know, I'm very much about buy better, buy less, so the emphasis will always be on quality, suggesting really good quality products that look good, perform well, and in turn last a long time. I'm Anesu Sagonda, and I manage a luxury lifestyle management business in London. My content is largely educationally focused and geared towards people who are typically new to money or keen to explore alternate mid-lux or super brands that are a little under the radar but still heavily weighted on quality. I'm going to be making 8 gift idea suggestions. I know some of them are going to be cliche, but the intention, as I mentioned earlier, is to put the emphasis on quality. So you're presenting the recipient with something that is well made and hopefully they will like and enjoy using. My first recommendation is candles, and I'm going to recommend 2 brands at the top end of the market, 2 in the mid-tier. 2 top-end brands. The first one is a brand I touched on briefly when I was on Chiltern Street. I'll attach that video above. And it's a French brand called Cire Trvdon. They're the oldest wax company in the world, founded in 1643. And they produce table and scented candles. And I like them for a number of reasons. Firstly, the quality, but also the glass container that the candle comes in. It's made to resemble a champagne bucket. And the range of fragrances that they offer, there isn't any other brand that offers anything similar or has copied any of their fragrances. They're unique to them. And I would like to recommend in particular their scented candle called Anesu. Anesu is their most popular candle. It's a very rich leather fused with smoky tobacco, and it's a very masculine but classic fragrance. I'd like to recommend in particular their classic size. It's their most popular. It's a 270 gram jar, retails for £75, and it burns for a minimum of 60 hours. They collaborated a couple of months ago with Boheme, another major French brand, and they produced a limited edition candle, and they did a variation of the Anesu. Of all the luxury candles, my favorite fragrance is Anesu. It's a really nice, as I said, very rich leather fused with smoky tobacco. And I also like the fact that it comes in a really stylish box, so you either drop it as is in the box in a stocking filler, or you just add a bow on top and it's ready to present. They also have a really nice limited edition Christmas candle, retails for £88, and it comes in a really nice red stylish box, again ready to present to the recipient. The other brand is the brand right at the top end of the market. They produce the very best candles in terms of quality. They use the finest fragrances that they use in their perfumes, also in their candles. And it's a brand called Roja Parfum, and they're recognized as the most luxurious fragrance brand in the world. And I'd like to recommend 3 different fragrances to Anesu. Gardenia, a floral fragrance, and then their most popular perfume is the Amber Oud, and I'd like to recommend the complementing candle, and also Neroli. Comes in a 300 gram jar and retails for £95. My mid-tier brands, there are 2. My top recommendation is Diptique, and the second recommendation is Jo Malone. The next idea suggestion is jewelry. You can't go wrong with jewelry, and I will be talking about jewelry in a later video next year as part of the essentials every woman needs. And in that video, I'm going to talk about the basics I recommend, such as your studs, so your earrings, necklace, rings, and so forth. So I'm not going to touch on those in this video. I'm very much going to be focused on bracelets and bangles, which make great gifts, not just for Christmas, birthdays, Valentine's. And bangles and bracelets, you tend to get a lot of people stacking them. You see loads of pictures on Instagram with the same 3 brands. You have the Hermes Click Clack, you have the Cartier Love Bangle, and their latest addition to their range, the Just on Clos. So you have the Just on Clos, you have the Love Bangle, and you also have Von Cleef & Arpels with their Alhambra, the flower bracelet. I would like to move away from those because those 3 have a lot of hype around them. There's a lot of marketing, a lot of celebrity endorsement. They're great brands, very well made, good quality, but I just want to introduce different brands on the same level in terms of quality, but just offering a different style, maybe for somebody who wants something different, doesn't want to follow the crowd, or just wants to add to their stack, or just wear a piece in isolation as is. It's beautiful enough just to wear on its own. My first 3 recommendations for entry-level bracelets and bangles under 500. There's Tiffany with their entry-level ranges. There's the gold beaded, the silver beaded bracelet, retails for under £500. Also has matching earrings in different sizes, the different studs. This is the biggest size. And they also have a matching necklace, all in the same style, different size beads. And you also have Annoushka and another brand called Redline. I really like Redline because they do diamonds on a string, so it's something different, a bit of a novelty, but very well made, durable little things. And you either have the diamond tied entirely on the string, or it's half string and half chain, or it's all chain, whatever you prefer. But they're just really nice, delicate looking, fun pieces, all under £500. Looking specifically at your luxury fine jewelry, same level as Cartier, Von Cleef, and also Hermes, you have for under £1,000. I would recommend Boodles. Have some really nice, very dainty, delicate bracelets with little diamonds or little precious stones. You also have one of the biggest and best exports from South Africa, De Beers, and then another brand, Pomellato, also with really nice bracelets under £1,000. A little over £1,000, you have Boucherone, specifically with their Serpent Boheme, retails for about 1,100. Starts from that price, depends on the stones that you use. You also have, just a little ahead of that, you have Piaget with their Possession bangle, depending on the stones you use. Starts at about 2,300. You also have the Chopard Happy Hearts, start at 2,500, again depending on the stones you use. And I'd also like to throw in Pomellato. Pomellato are great, as I mentioned earlier. They also have the really delicate bracelets under £1,000, but they also do a really nice bangle called the Iconica. Retails for £5,800. So same sort of price as your Love bangle, depending on whether it's plain or with diamonds. But it's a really nice solid gold bangle. You can either wear on its own or stacked with other bangles and bracelets. And then a little ahead of that, in terms of 5,000 to 10,000 and above, you have 2 really fantastic brands. You have Solange, Azagury, Partridge, and you also have Theo Fennell. I like them both because they use a lot of colored stones. So your emeralds, your rubies, your sapphires. They're a little different in that Solange or Azagury Partridge tends to go for your bolder, out there, audacious, real show-stopping bracelets and bangles that really stand out, that people really notice. And then you have Theo Fennell, also use color, but a lot more subdued, a lot more dainty, a lot more delicate, not as show-stopping, but just a little muted, but still very much weighted on quality, really pretty, fun bangles and bracelets with a lot of color. I particularly like their Skull Talk, retails for about 5,300. It's a yellow gold skull bangle, really nice. But a good selection of brands just to put on your radar, get some variety, look at different styles, different stones, and so forth. Next recommendation, idea suggestion rather, is pajamas. I'm not going to talk too much about pajamas because I have a video which I'll attach in, or rather 2 videos which I'll attach in this video. And one is men's pajamas that I was recommending, and the other is washable silk pajamas for ladies. There's a lot of overlap. So brands such as Desmond and Dempsey, they also do pajamas for children. You have Turnbull Asser, you have Derrick Rose, and Meng with the beautiful silk pajamas. I'd also like to just add to that equation for ladies, Fleur of England and also Katherine Hamilton. They do really fun, very flirty, playful pajamas. And then my next idea would be your cashmere loungewear. Really appropriate to wear together with pajamas, cashmere loungewear. around Christmas, luxurious, really soft, really comfortable, real splurge-worthy stuff. And especially with the pandemic, I'm all about self-care and just being really good to yourself and wearing really nice, comfortable, soft, luxurious clothes that really make you feel good. And what I'd like to recommend, you have a brand that has totally blown the competition out of the water. It's Club Monaco. They have a fabulous selection of mix and match cashmere loungewear. You have your trousers and skirts, long trousers, long skirts. You also have your jumpers. They also have a really nice cashmere camisole in cream and a dark brown color. And then they also have the beige and the sandy colors as well. Priced at about £150 a piece. Mix and match, fantastic for quality, just for the style. You can't go wrong with that in the mid-tier. And then other brands, you also have Max Mara, very well known for their cashmere lounge wear. You have Derek Rose with matching his and hers. You have Prada. Prada had a pop-up in Harrods a couple of months ago with really nice neutral colored cashmere loungewear, and they had really nice crop jumpers with high-waisted pants. They were amazing. And then as a real splurge for yourself, you want to treat someone, Olivia von Hell have the most fabulous splurge-worthy tracksuit in a beige caramel color and retails for £995. You can't get any more decadent or spoilt than that tracksuit. My next idea suggestion is outerwear, and instead of your typical coat, which I get requested a lot for major birthdays, a really nice coat, but a coatigan in cashmere. A coatigan is a cardigan that is like a coat in terms of just how heavy it is, the thicker knit, the cashmere, it's long, it's luxurious, it's soft, and it's very warm and fairly heavy. And I'd like to recommend a number of brands, but in particular there's a brand that surfaced. It's a new kid on the block, surfaced a couple of years ago, mother-daughter duo, and it's called Letan. It's a French brand based in Paris, and Letan produced the most show-stopping coatigans. They own the space. There isn't anybody else making coats like these. They're really nice and chunky, and they're made from Loro Piana cashmere, and Loro Piana cashmere specifically is the gold standard when it comes to cashmere. They also have a really nice coatigan. It's long in a chunky knit, not as chunky as Letan or as ornate, but a beautiful coat nonetheless. Retails for around 3,300. Fantastic coatigan, Loro Piana. There's also Letan, which is fantastic. If you want something different to a coat, a couple of warm layers underneath, you're in a place where the temperature doesn't drop too much below zero, then it's a fantastic coat. Another suggestion is a scarf, and this is the only item where I'm only going to recommend one brand. Everything else I'll do mid-tier, top end, but with this particular one, with scarves, if you're somebody who likes scarves, you want to gift a really nice scarf, then Hermes. Hermes, again, like Loro Piana, is the gold standard when it comes to scarves. There's nothing that beats their Lyon silk scarves. They're made in Lyon from the finest quality silk from Lyon, and the printing is exquisite. The quality of it, the styles, you have a whole range of different styles, different colors, different shapes and sizes. You can either have the little twilly, which you attach onto your handbag, or the bigger scarves, which can be worn either as tops, tied into tops, around your neck, your head, whatever you prefer. But I think it's a great idea. Introduce someone who may not know Hermes to the very best. At least they know what the best when it comes to scarves is. My next suggestion is fragrances, and you can't go wrong with fragrances, but I'm going to stick with luxury niche. I have a subscriber who's asked me to do a video on luxury niche perfumes. When I talk about fragrances, it's very rare for me to talk about your mass-produced perfumes. So the perfumes that are produced either by a skincare brand, for example, Estee Lauder make perfumes, or a clothing brand that then makes perfumes. I will focus specifically on brands that are perfumers. They only make perfume, so their focus is very much on producing a very good quality product. And what you find is they make fragrances that are made from high quality synthetics and also natural oils, and in turn they produce a fragrance that's very specific. You can really pick out the individual notes, what the fragrance is, but it's also very refined. It's well balanced, it's not overwhelming. And sometimes with cheaper perfumes, you find they can be a bit nauseating, but these perfumes are just subtle, they're well balanced, they're refined, and they smell very good. There are a number of brands I've already mentioned in the past, Floris and Penelegans in my British toiletries video, which I'm going to attach above. You also have a brand called Kilian. I'll suggest a number of their fragrances just as a starting point if you're new to the brand and as a way of just navigating around. And they do 2 great fragrances, Intoxication and also Love. You have Frederic Malle, and Frederic Malle has a whole raft of fragrances I love and I buy for clients. There is Portrait of a Lady, Une Rose, Lipstick Rose. There is En Passant. You have Iris Poudre. You have a whole raft of them. Fantastic perfumes. You also have an amazing French parfum house called Caron. And I love their Délire de Rose. It's a really sweet and very sassy little fragrance. And then a brand I would like you to get on your radar. It's fairly new to the industry, founded in 2010, an Argentinian brand. And they're very much focused on your sustainably produced fragrances. It's a brand called Fruegia. And Fruegia produce fragrances made with natural ingredients and they go for the very highest quality. And again, as I said, with your luxury niche perfumes, the fragrances are very specific and refined, but these are natural, so you get to smell things like wood and different types of trees. And the Jacaranda, I absolutely love. It's my favorite of all the fragrances that I've tried from them. But you can't go wrong with Fruegia. And even if you're somebody who's very particular about your perfume, it's something I challenge you to get on your radar. Explore them. I'm going to talk about them next year, but do subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on some of my future videos like the jewelry one I've mentioned or when I talk about Fruegia. And then my final suggestion is homeware. If you're somebody who's home proud, possibly the 45, 60-year-old, they want something different, they don't want some of the cliche things, there are a number of brands out there that produce quirky, fun homeware items that are very well made. You have Tom Dixon, a self-taught designer, and he has amazing lighting, structural items. He does really funky home accessories. He has really fun candelabras, candlestick holders. He has stemware, really nice and very different champagne flutes, wine goblets, wine glasses, water tumblers, decanters, and very different styles and colors. He also has really nice throws and rugs and vases. There's also the Conran shop with really fun, quirky vases as well. Homeware, you have really nice cushions that are like pieces of art from both Tom Dixon from the Conran shop. You also have an upmarket store. It's located just off High Street, Kensington, called Willa, and they're very much focused on your luxury stoneware. So they have really nice vases, candelabras, candlesticks, and sculptures in stoneware and so forth. Get that store on your radar. I'm going to talk about them in another video, which I will release when I have released that in this one. But Willa is a great store if you're into stoneware, as I mentioned. But I've given you a number of suggestions, a number of brands, something different. But whatever you choose, it'll be really well made and beautiful. But if there's anything in particular you would like me to let you know, do let me know as always in the comments down below. But otherwise, happy shopping, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Take care.